Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. I hope everybody can see me and everybody can hear me loud and clear. Today, we're going to be talking about building blocks. And hopefully by the end of the session, you're going to be familiar with the term and you're going to know how to use it and how to make the best out of it in your application development cycle. Also stick until the end because I'm going to show you how you can create your own building blocks and how you can share that within Neptune community so other partners or customers can use that. So before we get started, some information about me. My name is Christoforos and I'm a go-to-market specialist here at Neptune Software. Here you can see my information, so after the end of this webinar, feel free to contact me. Here you can see also my LinkedIn account and my Twitter account. So make sure that you follow me on these networks and also make sure that you follow Neptune's official account in both networks so you can get daily updates on DX platform and other topics. So as I said, today we're going to be talking about building blocks. But what are they? Building blocks are development artifacts, which means that they carry not only the UI, but also functionality within them. They can be used in different applications and can be used by different people and different teams. And generally, we use them in applications as well as workflows. It happened to me before, and I'm sure it happened to you guys before, that you are building an application and at some point you have a request for adding new functionality. And what you have to do then is you have to go and read new documentation, you have to go and read how the APIs work, how the data manipulation is done, and stuff like that. So what we thought at Neptune was that it would be super cool if you can have these pieces of code as packages, as building blocks for now. And that way, you can provide the best UX practices that are out there, and you can accelerate the development time until production by creating a standard UX language throughout all your applications in your organization. And that way, you don't need to be a UX expert in order to do that. When we look at other organizations and customers, what we understand is that there is an outer shell that we call no-code, which is a business developer. And a business developer is someone who understands business and knows how the business processes are, but they're not really technology savvy. Moving one shell closer to the core and one step closer to the IT department, you will find the low-code shell, which is an SAP backend developer. And this is someone who knows the SAP terminology, knows the SAP landscape, and also is really familiar with creating ABAP classes and what do they mean and how you can use them. And at the core of you will find the IT department, where is someone who is a full stack developer and is more or less really familiar with the latest technologies such as Node.js. And I'm going to give you an example for that, how the three different layers can work together in order to create a simple application for organization, for an enterprise. So everything starts by the full stack developer who is building a new UI5 library component. He knows exactly where to go and search for the UI5 controls, knows exactly how do they behave and how to use them. And then comes the SAP backend developer, who then designs an adaptive building block on the application designer. And then comes the business developer, who's now composing an adaptive application using the adaptive building block that was created before. And these three different shells that we saw before can work together in order to create one application as an example for an enterprise. And at this point, I'm going to switch to the hands-on. Some introduction about this hands-on I'm going to show you. We've been discussing with my team lately how important it is to have the voice assistant functionality for retail. And we're not there quite yet, but we think it's going to be something for the future. All right. And what I'm going to show you is a simple web shop application that I created a couple of weeks ago. And then the requirement was to add the chatbot functionality. So let me show you what I've done. So here's the application I was talking to you guys before, and it's pretty simple, straightforward. Just getting prices from an API, getting stock levels, and item description and item image, and that's pretty much it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how you can add in this application a chatbot functionality, and this is going to be really simple. So all I have to do is I'm going to have to search for a folder, because I would need 2 folders for that. And the first folder is going to be named chatbot for obvious reasons. And the second one is going to be named floating button. And for those who are not familiar with a floating button is, a floating button is a little icon that you can get on applications that they do support chatbot functionality. It's a one little icon that you can find on the bottom right or the bottom left corner of your phone, and it's stuck there regardless if you scroll up or down. So we're gonna need that. We're gonna use that. And all I have to do is simply come to the chatbot folder, right click, and click on building blocks. And here you can see a really long list of building blocks. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to show you what are the different blocks that there are out there. So at the moment of this webinar, it's 56 building blocks. And that's quite a lot. And I really like it because it's really, the community is active, and you can have different blocks that there are. Some are more sophisticated than others. For example, this mobile native document viewer is one of the biggest, let's say. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to search for this chatbot that I want to add. And here I have the Facebook chatbot. Here's the description, some information. We don't really going to look at that. We just want to click on download. I'm not going to click on download right now because it's already been installed in my environment. But that's the only step it's required from your side. So just click on download and that's it. Next one is the chatbot button. And this is the button I was telling before, this floating button. So you can see that right here, this is the icon we want. Same thing, clicking in here, going and then click on download, and that's it. Going back to my application now, I'm going to search for this chatbot, and I know this is the one I want because it has the UI as I wanted. And I know this is a really long list, but we're not going to use all of them, so I'm just going to close it for now. And then go to the floating button, same thing as before, building blocks, and search for the floating button. Again, this is my version, because there are other developers, as I said earlier, there are other developers who have put already their building blocks there or changed a bit. So this is mine. And what I have to do now is I'm going to navigate here and take the scroll container and put it between the header and the footer and the floating button. So in order to make it work right now, I have to go to the page list and disable the scrolling functionality. And clicking on activate, it will give me the floating button with the chatbot functionality. By typing hey and click on enter, what I see is that chatbot actually replying to me. So this is how easy it is to add a chatbot functionality within your application. And what I want to do now is I'm going to show you how you can publish your own building block. So let's say that this is your building block already. You want to do some small details, some small changes, and maybe small configurations even, not just the UI, but how the functionality works. And all you have to do then is going back to the store that we were before and clicking on sign in. Here you will find, just type your email account, and by clicking on log on, you're gonna get an activation code in your email account. So by taking that, copy and paste it into the activation input field here, you will then be authorized to publish your building blocks. There is a small, one little thing that I wanted to add here. There is a process of, from Neptune side, there is a small process of evaluating these building blocks. So it might take a couple of days, but that's it. It's not really a big deal. And in case you publish a building block, what you have to do is, if you at some point decide that, yeah, I don't want that building block anymore to be out there in public, you can simply just unpublish it, and that's going to be fine. So you can publish that either within the whole Neptune community, or you can publish it inside your organization. So you can choose that. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to switch back to my presentation. And what I've showed you again was a simple, how you can have a simple web shop application, and then just by, I don't know, 10 clicks or so, adding a chatbot functionality within. So that was it. Thank you so much for being here today. And I hope you have a good day today. And yeah, don't forget to follow Neptune's official account on LinkedIn or on Twitter. It's at NeptSoft on Twitter, so you can have daily updates and you can learn more about the DX platform. In case you have any queries, feel free to ask these questions there, and one of my colleagues or me, we can answer that. So that was it. Thank you so much, and thank you. Have a nice day. Bye, everyone.